Y'all, they put my mama in handcuffs and they took her to jail. It's your girl Bree and I'm back again. Hey y'all, how are y'all doing? So I'm coming at y'all with a fight story time. Y'all knew it was coming. I told y'all I was about to bring y'all some more fight story times. So here we go. And y'all know I like to give y'all a little bit of background before I get into the story. Okay, so first of all, this was in the summertime. I was around 15 during this time. My brother was around like 8 or 9 during this time, right? So we stayed in a neighborhood that was slightly ghetto. It wasn't that bad, but it was slightly ghetto. So we knew of these baby kids. We're going to call them baby kids. That's going to be their name for the story, right? These baby kids were in this neighborhood and they were horrible. They were very bad, not disciplined, nothing. Just bad, right? And this woman, we're going to call her, let me see. We're going to call her Gutterball. Because that's what me and my mama call her back then. Her name was Gutterball. Okay, so Gutterball, she was a stripper, right? She was a stripper. She let her kids run wild. She didn't care what they did, right? Okay, so now we're getting into the story. So one day, my mama had went to work, right? Me and my brother was left at home during this time. So we had went outside to hang out with our friends. So I went to my homegirl house. We're not going to give her a name because she wasn't significant in this story. So I went to my homegirl house. My brother was hanging out with his friends. So I hung out with my homegirl. She had to go somewhere. So I left her house early. So I left her house and I went outside and I seen these group of boys and they were the baby kids, right? Baby kids. And I see my brother. So I'm looking around, looking, seeing what was going on. My brother was getting jumped, okay? So I was running down the street, running. I got to where my brother was at, and I'm breaking up the fight, pulling these dudes off, pulling them off. And they trying to hit me too, so I'm getting my licks in, okay? And I'm pulling them off. Well, after the fight broke up, my brother was all cussing him out. I'm over there pissed because they was jumping my brother. Of course I would be. So here come Gutterball, which is they mama, the baby kid's mama, okay? And she gonna tell me, so what you doing? Why you fighting my boys? Da 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 da. What? You too old to be fighting them? Da 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 da. So I'm walking away because one thing about me is I'm not about to argue with no adult, okay? At that time, I was, like I said, I was 15. I'm not about to argue with no adult. So I'm just looking at her like she's stupid. And, oh yeah, y'all, so I forgot to mention. So the baby kids I was talking about, it was like 5 of them. It was like 5 of them, and it was like the same age as my brother, like around 8 or 9. So for her to say, oh, I'm too old to be fighting them, da 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 da. Honey, I wasn't that far away from their age. Like I was a couple years away from them, but it wasn't that much for her to be acting like that. Like, and her kids shouldn't have been jumping my brother. It was 5 of them and it was 1 of my brother. So be for real. Like, be for real. But yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know because I realized I didn't mention that. And that was very important. So, yeah. She had me messed up. She didn't even know what she was talking about, okay? So I'm not about to even argue with her. So I turn around and walk away because she's not about to keep yelling at me, right, in my face. So I turned around, walked away. She's walking behind me, stepping on my flip-flops. And she hit me in the back of my head, right? Hit me like that, right? So I'm pissed at this moment. I was like, do I need to fight her? Like, am I going to have to fight her? But I said, you know what? No. What I'm going to do is call my mama. That's exactly what I'm about to do. I'm going to call my mama. But I said, you know what? My mama's at work, right? So I said, you know what? I'm going to call the police because she ain't got no business putting her hands on a minor, right? So I called the police, right? And I called the police, letting them know, hey, this grown lady hit me in the back of my head. I'm 15. She's hitting a minor. Can y'all come out here, right? So the police pull up, and soon as the police pulled up, he talked to her, and then he talked to me, right? So he was like,
oh no, you need to go home. You need to go home. You just need to go home.
So as usual, the police did absolutely nothing. They just told me to go home. So I went home and I was like, nah, man, nah, something got to be done. She hit me. So I called my mama. While she was at work. And I was like, Mama, Gutterball hit me in the back of my head. Her bad kids, baby kids, was jumping my brother, and I was breaking it up. And she thought I was fighting her sons. Can you come down here? Because she ain't had no business hitting me in the back of my head. Okay, so my mama got off work, right? She comes straight home. She was like, okay, she was like, okay, so let me go up there and see what really happened. So my mama, she gets dressed, she takes off her work clothes, she gets dressed, and she comes outside. And she knocks on Gutterball door. And my mama comes to the door and she was like, what's this I hear about you hitting my daughter? Like, why did you hit my daughter? And she talk about, oh, when she was hitting my sons, they was fighting my sons, your son and your daughter was fighting my sons, da da da. But she was like, you didn't have no business hitting my daughter though. You grown. Why is you hitting my daughter? You come to me. You come to me if you have a problem. So at this point, they was arguing, right? My mom was like, nah, you hit my daughter, da, da, da. I don't want to hear none of that. You shouldn't hit my daughter. So at this time, she was Gutterball started yelling at my mama. So my mama punched her in her mouth, right? So by the time my mama punched her in her mouth, honey, they fighting. Honey, Gutterball had a knife, right? Gutterball had a knife, so she took out the knife. It was in like her back pocket or something. And she started going with the knife. My mama and Gutterball had fell on the floor, right? Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, I had walked down there with my mama. So I was with her, right? So by the time the knife came out, I was like, oh no, she not about to fight my mama with a knife. Heck no. So my mom was like, help me breathe. So I took off my belt, right? Because I had a belt on. I said, I'm finna whoop her with this belt. Since she want to get a weapon, I'm going to get a weapon too, right? So I was beating her with the belt, beating her. So I'm beating her with the belt, right? And we go on and on like this. So after we got done fighting, because eventually I was like, Mama, you know what? We finna go. Because by that time, she was beat up. All her hair was out her head. Because my mama pull her hair, I'm beating her up. My mama swinging, I'm swinging. My mama pulling hair, trying to pull my mama hair. My mama hair was real short, right? My mama hair was real short. So she was trying to pull my mama hair, but she couldn't grip it because it was that short. So we slinging her around. Eventually we got tired, honey. So I got my mama up and I stopped swinging at her because it was like, at that point, we beat this girl up. We beat Gutterball up. So Gutterball, she calls the police. After Gutterball called the police, I give it about 5 to 10 minutes later, they come out there. So the police get in our sides of the story or whatever. We tell the police, hey, she had a knife, all this stuff, yada, yada, yada. She had a knife, she probably told them I had a belt, whatever. So, of course, I didn't go to jail or anything like that because I'm a minor. When you're a minor, you don't get charged for stuff like that. During that time, I don't know what the laws is right now, but I didn't get charged or nothing like that. I was a minor. So after Gutterball had talked to the police. They ended up telling my mama to put her hands behind her back, right? So I'm looking like, wait, hold up. Y'all, they put my mama in handcuffs and they took her to jail. Okay? My mama got locked up, clink, clink. Okay? Okay, so before they put my mama in the police car, right? My mom was like, call your grandma, tell her what happened, tell her to pick y'all up. Y'all stay over there, until I can get out of jail. So I'm mad. I go home. Me and my brother go home because I got my brother because I don't know if my brother was still outside during this time because y'all, this happened so long ago. If he wasn't outside, he was around. He was like close by. So I'm walking home because I gotta figure out like what's really about to happen. So that's what I did. I was on my way walking home because I don't even think I brought my cell phone with me. But I went home, and as I was walking home, the police officer was walking behind me. He was just like, I told you to go home earlier. Why you didn't just go home? See, this would have never happened if you just had went home. And I'm looking at the police officer like, really? Like are you dumb? Like, are you stupid? You gonna let a grown woman hit me in the back of my head and I'm a minor? Like, are you dumb or are you stupid? Like, for real. Like, what's really going on? So, honey, at this time, I'm just looking at the police officer like he's stupid. I'm looking at him like, really? Like, really? Like, you did absolutely nothing when you came out here the first time. And you think I was just supposed to go home and act like nothing happened? Yeah, you got to be stuck on stupid because, no. Not Bree, not ever, okay? So, after he got finished talking, he walked away and I started walking home. So, I called my grandma, tell her the situation, and she comes, tell us to pack our stuff, and we go stay with her. So, we stayed with her overnight. They got my granddaddy and my grandma got my mama out of jail. I want to say like 8 or 9 hours later. It was like early in the morning, like around, I want to say like 2 or 3 in the morning, I believe. Yeah, I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. But honey, oh yeah, let me go back because I forgot something. So let's rewind this back. Okay, so Gutterball, I didn't tell y'all this. They locked up my mama, right? But Gutterball, they didn't do nothing to her. Nothing. She didn't go to jail. She didn't get charged. Nothing. And me and my mama was thinking, she probably a stripper. She probably did favors for the cops or whatever. And yeah, she probably did something a little nasty with the cops and then she got off on that. She had to, because how you don't go to jail for hitting a minor? How? And you an adult. Come on now, like, but I do understand my mama had went to her house. So because my mama went on her property, that's the reason my mama went to jail. But I'm just trying to figure out why she didn't go to jail too for hitting a minor in the very beginning. But like I said, she probably was doing favors for the cops, little nasty favors for the cops, and they looked past that and did not lock her up. That's what me and my mama came to the conclusion of, because she should have went to jail too, just like my mama did. Okay? But yeah, my mama only stayed in jail for about, I want to say 8 hours. And yeah, after she got out of jail, honey, after my mama got out of jail, I give it about a week or 2 later, we had seen Gutterball again, like at the hair store. We saw her at the hair store. Honey, she was still bald-headed to that day. That was like 2-3 weeks later. Honey, bald. Clean, Mr. Clean Head ass, Mr. Clean Head. But Honey, yeah. That story time was crazy. I'm glad my mama got right out of jail because that was crazy. But that was really the end of the story. It is what it was. But I can tell you one thing. Gutterball and her baby kids ain't never mess with us again, okay? Okay, they ain't never mess with us again. And yeah, that was the end of that story time. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.